Let me ask you a question. If you didn't know that breaking a law comes with certain consequences, and you actually broke that law, would you be safe from paying the price? Or would it still apply to you? Now, similarly, if there was a universal law that allowed you to experience alignment if you aligned with it, but you broke it, not knowing that it comes with certain consequences, would you be safe from experiencing misalignment, or would that act of imbalance catch up with you? Now, let's assume this universal law is the sex principle, the principle which accounts for creation in the cosmos. This principle underlies the energetic dance between any opposite and complementary aspects, which are bound to experience unification. The sex principle is fundamentally captured in the nature of the creation and the creator, all entangled because if everything exists as it does, it needed to be birthed from a place of wholeness, from the singularity. The singularity point must divide itself into these opposing and complementary aspects for creation to ensue, an eternal dance of different aspects coming together in a physical and non-physical manner in order to attribute meaning to all of these opposing energies, creating dynamism in the matrix and beyond. So from a psychospiritual perspective, sex is not this physical act that most people think it is. It's an energetic motive which all life forms contain within them. It's the primal reflex to reproduce, to create, to expand, to experience more of yourself, because if you are alive, you are a unit of consciousness which has been fragmented to experience the return to wholeness. This means that you have an intrinsic form of motivation located within your sacral chakra, which allows you to tap into this creation point. If you feel the desire for physical sex, what you're actually desiring is more connection, more wholeness, more unification. Hence, sexual energy can be transmuted into creative energy. And creative energy likewise inspires you to experience more of your innate sexuality because the two are entangled. And this is really one essential life force modality that you are dealing with. Furthermore, if you want to experience more power, more success, more balance, the sex principle is entirely attributable to those conditions. Because what you're really seeking is more reproduction of certain thoughts, energetic intentions, emotions, behaviors, and experiences that align you with the reproduction of a certain energetic outcome. Reproduction is just the force of amplification. It's taking a certain seed in your own field and reproducing it enough times to create tangible effects, which amplifies your initial intention. Whenever you manifest something, you're actually reproducing a core intention, which might be to experience physical creation, giving something, giving of your energy to create a certain outcome, and being received by the world around you because you're reproducing your core intention to create in the first place. If you're not able to create, to manifest, or experience any kind of expansion in your life, it's because you haven't fully captured your ability to experience reproduction of that core intention in your own field. And if reproduction isn't happening, there's a lack of that intention behind it, which does not sustain creation. This is why the need to want something is so imperative. If you don't want creation to happen, meaning you are not completely, coherently entangled with this desire to give your all to the act of creation, it won't be sustained, because your energy will be divided from that core intention. If you simply want something with your mind, or you're fantasizing about the concept of having a certain thing, that might be an attachment that you are generating, which feels in your field like a desire or a craving, maybe a distant yearning for something that you want to experience in your reality. But the act of attaining it through a deep enough want to spark the force of creation is entirely different from that surface level egoic want of a certain thing. For a want to become a reproducible energetic intention, you need to actually crystallize it into a meaningful experience, which philosophically moves your mental body into an act of creating that intention through more thought forms that support it, and through more subconscious commands that allow you to experience the continuous manifestation process from that intentional state, to more emotions that accommodate the feeling of that creation, and more physical responses that allow you to feel as one with that core intention. The sex principle explains how you need to merge any aspects in your field creating disharmony to reproduce more of what you do want to be experiencing. And likewise, this brings us to the aspect of needing to experience yourself as an agent of change, conspiring to create that with the assistance of a higher power. Because you recognize fundamentally the intention to create isn't coming from you. Just as all these ideas that might be propping up into your field to create certain outcomes, to give rise to your centralized purpose in life, to give, to be beneficial to humanity, or to do anything else that allows you to achieve success in life. All of these success factors and ideas come from the field of higher intelligence. They're not really yours, which means when you non-locally interact with these different aspects of your reality, you are literally making love to the field intention and allowing yourself to experience tantric energetic interchange with the field itself. What this might remind you of is whenever you are in a very creative, open flow state, you're going to be experiencing tremendous potentiality and personal power. You might experience sexual energy because what you're experiencing is this boundless generative force within your own field, which is pumping this life force energy through you. It's going to be bringing stimulation to the sacral chakra. It's going to be pushing this energy upward to fulfill you at the level of the heart and the mind, allowing you to communicate these ideas and to move your state from mere intentionality, the inception point, to physically acting on it, which brings the masculine principle into play and allows you to manifest what you actually desire in the physical. That reveals the convergence of the masculine and feminine polarities. The feminine state, which is simply receiving the intention, allowing you to bring yourself into a state of feeling it, harmonizing with it, creating coherence to act upon it, and then physically doing so, which requires the masculine state of overtly acting on the energy you feel innately and choosing to do something about it. If you feel in any part of this act of creation there is stagnation, try to pinpoint it to which polarity within you is experiencing that suppression. Do you have limitation at the level of mental doubt or not being able to energetically come into a state of coherence with the feelings or with the subtle ideas entering your subtle bodies of consciousness? If that's the case, you might not be trusting your own feminine polarity to be receiving these innate intentions and allowing them to be trusted to then give rise to creation. Or is what you're experiencing a certain idleness or passivity, where if you're not able to crystallize from an intentional, energetic standpoint, you're afraid of your masculine potentiality? Maybe you're not sure if you can trust yourself at the level of physically enacting a certain intention, a certain cause. If you feel stuck or discouraged because you don't feel powerful enough to make a change happen, know that the universe is literally on your side. Because what the sex principle entails is that when energy enters your field and you desire enough to make use of it, you literally will be supported from every corner energetically in order to bring that intention to life. That means if you have an interesting business idea, if you want to create some kind of art, if you want to use your body and your entire field of consciousness as an instrument to create meaningful, energetic coherence, harmony, and balance in reality, if you trust your deeper, innate intention in order to become that instrument of change, you'll always find a way to make it happen, as long as you start doing it. The biggest hang-up people tend to experience is if they really think too long about what they're supposed to be doing, if they're able to do it, how they should be doing it, when in reality all you need to do is to start acting on the innate intention. When you have a certain energetic intention in the form of a thought, a feeling, an inspiration, some kind of a motive, enter your field, and it feels like your ego can't even bypass that intention because of its pureness and its higher place of meaning. All you need to do is to sustain it, plant it like a seed into your own subconscious mind, and fertilize it with love. Allow yourself to give to that seed of higher consciousness more motivation through your nurturing of what is really an etheric piece of information coming to you to be supported. From this standpoint, you as a vessel of intelligence can allow for this higher conscious information to be either solidified or to go away, to the transient place that it came from. You have the power to create more obstruction, to distract yourself from acting on these little seeds of creation coming into your field all the time, or to allow yourself to generate more confidence, more power, more stamina, to bring to life the powerful ideas and visions that may already be seated in your field. This really comes down to what is the point of your experience if you're not choosing to be a harmonic agent of change? What are you choosing to use your power for? What are you choosing to see that your sacral energy center is responsible for? If you merely view sex and reproduction, procreation as physical acts, then you're just biologically using yourself in a primal way, looking at the need to approach life as a closed circuit model, where what you take in is a part of your physical egoic needs, and what you give is only enough to support those physical needs to satisfy your egoic self. It's a quite dismal view of reality if we think about it from that standpoint. Living your life as a closed circuit of information creates this kind of a feedback loop in which you're always expending the energy of your consciousness to meet your own needs. So, sex for you might be something that involves physically just expending this energy that you feel in your sexual energy center. You might not see the sacral benefit of sex, nor might you think this energy can be transmuted into anything higher or more valuable. Some people experience success and egoic satisfaction in life, but at the same time, they are corely dependent on sex as an act that allows them to achieve physical fulfillment. But what's interesting is that that closed circuit created as a result of being egoically enmeshed in your own reality leads to a state in which it's never enough. If you have an overactive sacral center, whether that means that you rely on sex for energy or you constantly need to give more sexual energy overtly because you feel like you have this never-ending supply of it, what that's indicating is that you have not found the proper outlet to experience a more tantric interchange of energy in the universal sense. What that means then is that the sex principle is working through you to lead to overstimulation, overindulgence, potentially even overgiving your vital life force to certain sources that don't allow amplification to happen. Because if you're just pouring it into a partner, into yourself, into something that you're creating egoically, you're not actually fostering energetic harmony. You're not creating expansion. You're not leading to abundance in the form of masculine and feminine interconnection and permanent balance. What that means is that you're going to experience this overexcessive energy, leading you to always need more, or perhaps leading to an overdrive kind of a state, in which you might actually develop sacral energy blockages or dependencies, or too much energy in your sacral chakra, because that's going to be indicating that you haven't found a way to balance out this energy to create harmony and transmutation into the creative life force. Ultimately, if you're experiencing too little of stamina, desire for life, connection, and energetic openness, then you're not using the sex principle to give rise to more creation. You might be actually on some level resistant to fully participating in life itself. You might be withholding yourself from creation because you feel the creation doesn't deserve you, or maybe you don't deserve to experience the power of creation through you because for some reason you feel you need to be blocked off from it. If you're blocking yourself from your own creation power, you're going to feel lethargic, empty, and purposeless. You're going to feel like you are literally disconnecting yourself from the life support system that the universe has created for you to experience a sense of autonomy through connection to this energy. If you want to start to connect to this flow state, all you need to do is to start engaging your willingness to fully experience connection and harmony in life. That's where it begins. First, seeing that anything opposite in your reality is an opportunity to bring harmony into it. And if on any level you are choosing to sustain disharmony, a lack of coherence, which is reflected in any kind of antagonistic feelings like anger, frustration, hatred, resistance, blame, or self-inflicted guilt, shame, or fear, then what you're doing is you're creating this energetic, emotional blockage, which is preventing you from seeing you have the power to start using your creative and sexual life force potentiality to bring creation and order into new ways in life. This energy is inevitably going to push you to contend with your own blockages, because if you're not choosing to act on the force of creation, you're going to find the opposite effect playing out in your life. If things are taken away from you, you experience the demise of certain things that you thought were in your control but end up escaping you in the most elusive of ways, then what you're seeing is the real-time reflection of the energetic blockages that you are cultivating. And the most important thing to realize, if you're experiencing this direct reflection of what you are seeding into your own field as a blockage, is not resistance or hatred towards yourself, but it's the invitation and the deeper calling to start to apply the sex principle to create openness and energetic exchange. You might have been creating massive disharmony in your life by preventing the balance of this life force energy. You might not even see that it is in your power to start to use it more consciously. And this is where you need to begin. If you want to experience coherence and want to use your power in a new way, you first need to actually tap into your desire to make this happen. I cannot stress the importance of really focusing in on how much you want change to happen. Because when you conspire to make positive changes happen for yourself, you start to apply this dormant energy within your field, which might initially feel like anger, resentment, or any kind of resistance, to start to desire to move that negative intention into a positive intention, and that becomes life-giving altogether. Whenever you feel inner dullness, a lack of vibrancy, or like a part of you is even dead or passive because you're choosing not to engage yourself in a particular manner, you are creating dis-ease. You are creating a lack of coherence. You are taking away yourself from the creation force of the universe to, instead of immortalize some of your energy into physical creation, to take it away from creation, and that creates punishment. This is where the karmic laws of energetic exchange come in to illustrate to you that if you're putting yourself in a dead zone of idleness and passivity, you're going to deal with more repercussions in your reality. Hence, if you try to attack yourself and punish yourself for experiencing a diminished life force, you're going to feel that the universe likewise attacks you, leading to this endless spiraling into more depletion, more negative exertion of energy, and more contraction. And the only way to fix that is to choose to create your own expansion. Where have you been contracting energetically? If you now realize there is a universal law that you are either breaking or coming into alignment with that will reward you greatly for continual alignment with its course of evolution, what do you need to change to come into a state of being resolute with the intention to be a creator? Where have you been hijacking your ability to reproduce positive outcomes, success, and deeper intuitive ways of achieving alignment in life by potentially not even believing in your ability to do so? Now is the time to create justice for yourself by choosing to tip the scales energetically to be in favor of more creation, more alignment, and to be sexually involved in this reciprocal act of bringing energetic justice into all parts of your life. That means looking at yourself as a direct vehicle of energy connected to Source, and seeing that your highest intentions are always directly connected to what you are receiving from your higher self. Hence, you are very close to receiving the clarity in order to engage this principle, but you must desire to live life fully and to actually procreate based on the highest intentions that enter your field. And as soon as you try to collapse them into lower ones, you're going to feel engulfed in a kind of attack against yourself, because that is actually reflecting the attack within your own field against the sex principle, which can be restored as soon as you decide to do so.